Well, the hope, Coach, was that these Florida showers would have passed through by now, but it looks like we're in for a wet one tonight at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This fielded at the 2. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30.
Time to bring the base bird.
Swear I'm going big like a lineman. She want bring the limes in. She wanna pull up to the crib, we can't dine in. Up right away, couldn't even get a vine in. Straight with the money we aligned in. Tell me how they broke, tryna chime in. Jesus watching over here in diamonds. He the only reason why do not get violent. Ay, cause he gave me patience. Ay, swear that all makes sense. Ay, when you making bands can make friends. Cause I know they tryna shit like Ray-Bans. Got a bad little shorty wasting. And I own it, I ain't gotta pay rent. Ay, I know we the ones that ain't them. Pull both hands together and I'm saying amen. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going bigger. Postmates how I deliver. My game too cold, made it shiver, but I'm still a hot boy. Cool it down, let it simmer. Hey, see him mad, got him bitter. Can't stop the shine with a dimmer. Only what I give her, and she let her call me baby, but I do not need a sitter. See me dip, yeah, I'm saucing. People at the bank see me often. Let the money run, it's a faucet. She gave me the that's the bosses. Took over the game, now we all in. I was down in the chips, then went all in. Throwing up the game, ain't no vomit. Make my mama stop working, that's the promise. Going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm going big, going big. Everywhere I go, they know the click. Way too many wins, they know the shit. They was hating, know they sick, acting like they know me. Cause I'm
P-P-P-Love, time to bring the base bird.
Well, the hope, Coach, was that these Florida showers would have passed through by now, but it looks like we're in for a wet one tonight at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go. Time to end it. Check. No. Watch the run.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. To throw is Bridgewater. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. On third down, Bridgewater. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man, and able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 41, Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Lightning speed that time from the corner. Marshawn Lattimore getting the sack.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Winston. And Robinson with a big catch. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
Jameis now on 1st down. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Trey Hendrickson just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now Winston. And he's going to go down again. Cameron Jordan in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. Winston needing a big play after the sack as he leads the Bucs up on 3rd and long. It's complete to Robinson. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! DeMarcus Robinson, his first touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change at quarterback, running back, tight end. It doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result.
And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. The 305-pound Ndamukong Suh finding the path to the QB there. 3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Evans. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there and set and change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8.
Easy. Let's go. Follow. Let's go.
From the gun, Winston. He'll find Barber out of the backfield. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Watch a slap.
First down, Winston. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucks. Mike Evans, his 3rd touchdown now on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now 14-0. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically their scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Bridgewater toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And that'll make it 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. The 40, the 30, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get him in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
1 yard gain.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. The Saints with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
They go play action. Bridgewater. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sack back at the 38. Kyler Fackrell in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And this one is right down the middle. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
On 3rd down, Winston. He's got Evans. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. It's a big play, Winston to Evans, and even 40 yards.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Winston. And this is caught by Evans. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. Jameis now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Winston. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And a short return to the 6-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On 2nd and 9, Bridgewater. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
Following the interception, Winston. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
First and goal at the 1-yard line.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
At the 6, 5-yard line.
Jameis to throw it. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
To throw, Winston. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Here we go. At their own 24-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. They begin on the ground with Kamara. Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Bridgewater from the gun on 3rd down. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. To throw again on 2nd down. Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
They begin the drive with a run by Murray. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Off the play fake, Bridgewater. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. And the great veteran Eric Berry back to knock that one away.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Open man is Michael Thomas. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one.
Check, 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 check. Okay. What's up? No. Motion backfield. Check 59. Mike is 59.
A first down throw for Bridgewater. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. 17 there and a New Orleans first down. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Bridgewater on 3rd and 2. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Thomas, the intended target. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if you're started through 4 in the first half.
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Cameron Jordan able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Now on 2nd and 13. Winston. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Ready. Blue ready. Yeah, let's get sack lunch. Watch safety. Even. Safety's creeping.
And they try to sweep to Jones. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Kayvon Webster. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. Oh, look at that. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Again, it's Kamara. And an alley to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Lutz good on the extra point, and that will level the playing field at 17 all. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. The interception on the last drive proved costly, led to the tying score, so 17 all as they come up on a 1st down. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Winston now. His throw incomplete. Good coverage that time by Patrick Robinson.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick, but able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
47's the mic, boys. 47. Green, triple C. Hey, we go, slow.
47's the mic. 47's the mic.
Here we go. 47 mic.
Working out of the gun, Winston. Being chased out, and Winston lost the football. But it looks like a Buccaneer was able to corral it. Yes, the Bucs have it. Tampa Bay keeps the possession.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Play action now, Winston. Going for the deep ball. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard. and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They run it again with Kamara. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety.
And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that?
And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. Cameron Jordan in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Winston. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
I'm trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. We come up here on 1st and 10. A running play on 1st down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll run. This is Kamara. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards there, 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. Kamara's got the 1st down and then some. And finally down at the 36-yard line. 17 there and a New Orleans 1st down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch victory.
On 1st down, Murray. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. The busy night continues for Kamara. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. A nice 1st down pickup on a gain of 6.
I used to joke with my teammates who carried the ball a lot. When we got in these situations and they were carrying us home, I used to tell them, boy, you guys just look like Paul Bunyan, just growing stronger, bigger, tougher, and all night long he's carried this team.
He has indeed. Everything magnified right now, a huge 3rd down conversion. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. On the ground, Kamara. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A 21-yard touchdown run. And once again, the Saints are back out in front. Lutz with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Winston now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
47, Mike, 47.
Here's Winston. Flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
They go play action. Winston gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Throwing. Winston. He finds Howard complete. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a 1-score game. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He'll look to throw. And break. The tight end's got it. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 22-yard line. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Here's Winston. He'll find Barber out of the backfield. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Winston, the offense, with a 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Back to throw. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. He's back to throw. The open man is Smith. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout, as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Back to throw. And brought in by the tight end Cook. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 22-yard line. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Bucs, a win will come too late to save a losing season, but they do move to 6-9 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Saints, the slide continues as they drop now to 3-12. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.